Hi Jenna, how are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. So you are of course the front woman for Tonight Alive, and a lot of the time it's like when I actually first counted how many Australian bands were on Soundwave, I actually didn't count you, even though I know you're Australian. I think you do so well and spend so much time overseas that you tend to forget you're Australian.
Well, I guess there are positives and negatives to that. I mean, I've always wanted us to be considered as an internationally touring band, and I mean, for whatever success means to have international success, we knew we could never just stay in one place and for it to last forever. We've reached out and grown in that way, but we are proud of where we come from, and we are always representing Australia everywhere we go. And every time we come back, we want to make Australia proud.
Yeah. Tonight Alive, I guess you're kind of punk hardcore because you have the hardcore sound going on, but you don't have a screaming vocalist.
Right, yeah. Well, we kind of came up in a scene where hardcore and metal was at the top of its game. Like, kind of in 2008, when Tonight Alive started, we were opening for metal and hardcore bands. There wasn't anyone doing what we were doing at the time, which doesn't represent what Tonight Alive sounds like now at all. But those are the kind of bands that we were surrounded by and at the time. So hopefully that we can kind of give a kind of a diverse sound, or at least approach live shows because of our influences.
Yeah, you did the tour of like Vans Warped in America in 2012, but you also played the Vans Warped in Australia in 2013.
Yeah, we did 2012 and 2013 in America, and that was the full summer. That was like 2.5 months. And sometimes you play 11 shows in a row before you get a day off. For Australia to book us on the Aussie Warp Tour, the first one in 11 years, was huge for us. And especially to be playing on main stage, it was again like, it felt like we were being recognised for what we were doing overseas.
Yeah.
I think like early on as a band, we had to struggle a lot for people to respect us. And I think that's natural when you're a young band. But I think there weren't many females sort of playing in bands, at least at my age and things like that. So I always felt like we were underdogs, and it was really nice to be able to go overseas and grow as a band and then come back and be recognised for that. So that's kind of happening again this year on Soundwave, which feels really good.
It's kind of interesting because I know a girl who was so excited to see you at Vans Warped Tour. She absolutely loves you, and to think that you're up there feeling so excited to actually have been included and to be accepted by the Australian audience.
Yeah, well, it seems like you understand why, though, because we kind of, like I said, we kind of had to fight for attention and we had to fight for respect. And that's the only thing that I ever wanted, was to be respected for musicianship and musicality and sort of performance and being an artist. Like, nothing else really mattered to me. It's been quite difficult to have the backing of Australian radio, and early on, definitely hard to sort of gain the respect of press. We were getting a lot of bad reviews, and I think people just weren't used to seeing, especially a girl, but also these pop punk bands opening for international acts like Mess and, well, Lost Prophets and even the Getaway Plan. I think we were getting a lot of crappy reviews, and it was like, why is everyone trying to bring us down? We're an Aussie band. You know, we're doing our best to come up in the scene, and a lot of people were shutting us down, and it was like, well, let's go overseas and let's do it there. And yeah, I think people have really come around here and got behind us. And like I said, Soundwave is another sign of that, just to be on the bill and to be on the main stage this year. It's just, yeah, it's really flattering and it's an honour for us. Sorry, I'm taking your questions and really running with them.
That's okay, because it sounds to me like you've got a fantastic attitude, because you do tour aggressively and you haven't let other people stop you from doing what you knew you could do, and that's why you're being successful now.
Thank you. And that's kind of what you just said is the message that we carry through our lyrics as well, is to not let the fear of somebody else's judgment control your happiness or what you want to achieve. And you know, if you want something, you've got to work hard for it. And that's sort of the story that we come from, and that's the story that we tell.
And that's good, because you are sending out a positive message to young people to believe in themselves, and we need more of that. And commercial radio should jump on board.
I agree. Well, hopefully our new record can break into that a little and spread the message that we've been sharing with our fans for the past 7 years.
Yeah. And after you do Soundwave, you've got a tour of America like April and May. You virtually get no time off. You're just going to be working the whole time.
Yeah, it's about to be a crazy 6 months because on either side of that all-time low American tour, we're recording an album. So in March, we go in for a month. We do all-time low, and then we go back in until late July. We won't be home until after that, which is a little scary for me. I don't get homesick, but I do get worried that you don't get time alone or to yourself, you just don't get to break up the headspace that you're in that kind of environment. So it's a long time to be focused on one thing, but it's actually super important that our third record be our best, and we're putting a lot of energy and time into it. And yeah, I think we're just going to be really living with it while we're over there. It's not going to be going to a studio and leaving. It's literally moving in and making it our life for 3 months.
So then can I ask, for the Soundwave fans, are you going to be road testing some of these new tracks at Soundwave?
I think it depends on how they sound when we jam them. February is sort of the time we've allocated to get in a practice space and jam the songs and see what feels the best. So I suppose if something felt right, we'd play it live, but since we won't have recorded anything yet, for me, I'd prefer everything to be perfect before we share it. So yeah, it just kind of depends if it feels right.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing's perfect, don't forget that.
Nothing's perfect, that's right. But I guess until we've lived with it and we understand like the sound of the album and what songs are even going to go on the album, and yeah, I think we'd like to have a little bit more of a plan before we play anything new. And
people can actually check out everything about you, your bio, where you're touring, get your merchandise and look at photos and videos if they go to tonightaliveofficial.com.
Yeah, that's kind of the hub for everything that we run online.
You've got links to iTunes and Google and Spotify and everything there.
Mm-hmm.
And you are Tonight Alive on Facebook.
Yep.
So then, well, with everything that you have done and the people you have supported, what's your favourite memory so far?
Man, there's a lot. I mean, every year I count as special, and everything we do is always sort of a step up from even a month beforehand. But recently we did a headline tour in the UK called the Live on the Other Side tour, and it was kind of to celebrate the record The Other Side as it had been 1 year since it had been released. It was a bold statement, I think, in London to play the record in its entirety, and it's something that we've wanted to do in the past but had never felt right. But playing it in London kind of felt like, I guess, like not a gift, but just a special moment for us and our fans, as London kind of has been like a second home base for us away from Sydney. It's kind of the place that we've grown the fastest. We've been touring in America for 4 years. Just kind of, you're constantly working and massaging the market there. And each time we tour in America, we go for a different demographic, and we've slowly been, I guess, collecting and reaching out to fans in a lot of different scenes and taking them with us. As much as that's been great in America, in the UK, I guess things just clicked really quickly. So we played a completely sold out tour in England and Scotland there recently, and playing the album at Coco was probably a standout memory for us that will always last. I don't think that's ever going to change. Awesome. And do you have any idea when the new album that you're going to record in March will be out? It will be late this year. I guess our team's not rushing us. They want us to get it right. And yeah, sort of in the third quarter of this year. Right. And so people can then look forward to early next year, probably another Australian tour to support that. Absolutely. We're hoping to do a world tour upon release. So Australia's definitely been number one location for us to begin or end the tour. Yeah, but in the meantime, they can see you at Soundwave Festival and get tickets at soundwavefestival.com, and go to tonightaliveofficial.com to find out more about you and see everything Tonight Alive. It has been absolutely great talking to you. Thank you. You're a very interesting person with a really good attitude. I love it. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your questions and your time. Thank you, and have fun at Soundwave. And hopefully I'll see you there. I look forward to it.